everyone and welcome back to Tash Naturally Pilates. If you are new here, hello, I am Tash and I am a certified Pilates instructor. Today's class is full body sculpt. So we will be using the ankle weights. Don't worry if you don't have ankle weights, you can do this equipment free. Today's class is about a beginner to intermediate, but more on the intermediate side, okay? So if you're completely new to Pilates, today's class is probably not for you, but take a look at my other classes because I do have a lot of beginner-friendly classes. Okay, so enough chit-chat from me. All you're gonna need is your beautiful self, your mat, and a bottle of water, and let's get stuck into it. To a seated position, sit up tall, bring your shoulders into the back pockets of the jeans. Let's bring this right hand onto our left knee. This left hand is going to go behind the body and you're going to twist to the left, so looking behind your left shoulder, or looking over your left shoulder I should say. Exhale here, inhale, come to center. We're going to do that on the other side. So this right hand's going to go behind the body. Your left hand's going to go into your right knee. You're going to twist around to look behind your right shoulder. Allow your belly to be soft here. Exhale, inhale, come to center. We're going to do that one more time on each side. Right hand onto left knee. And then this left hand behind the body. Look behind the left shoulder. Look over the left shoulder. Exhale. Inhale, come to center one last time. Left hand, right knee, right hand behind the body. Look behind, look over the right shoulder. Inhale, come to center. Okay, we're going to scoot around. So let's turn around so we're facing the back of our mat. Scoot so you're in the middle of your mat. Bring your feet hip width apart. And we're going to slowly roll all the way down until we are on our backs. Okay, I want you to bring your stance a bit wider. Okay, so bring your feet just a little bit wider than hip width. Bring your arms out to a T, palms are on the ground. Inhale, and then on the exhale, we're going to drop both of the knees down to the left. Inhale, come to center. Exhale, down to the right. So we windscreen wiping those legs, making sure that both of your shoulder blades are staying grounded on the mat. I don't want them to lift. Feeling really good on that lower spine. Again, the belly is soft here. We're not engaging it. We're going to go for 2 more breaths. Only 1 more on each side. 1 more. And then come to that center position. Okay, now I want you to heel toe your feet in. So now your feet are going to be hip width apart. Your toes are pointing to the end of the mat. Your hands are going to rest on either side of your thighs. We're going to start to do some glute bridges. So I want you to tuck your pelvis under. And then we're going to start to lift the lower, the middle, the upper spine off of the mat, lifting the hips up to the ceiling, squeezing your glutes, weights in the heels. Inhale at the top, exhale. Let's start to pace that upper, the middle, the lower spine back onto the mat and tuck your pelvis at the bottom. Repeat, so we're articulating through the spine. Really want to think of the spine as a wave crashing along the shore. And we're moving slow. This is still our warm-up. Breathe, relaxing head, neck and shoulders here. Making sure that your knees are not wobbling from side to side, okay? Try glue them in space, and how you kind of prevent them from wobbling from side to side is you really need to slow the movement down. We're in no rush today. Squeezing the glutes. Making sure you have that rib to hip connection, okay? So you don't want your ribs to flare out. You want to bring your ribs in and down towards the hips. Moving at your own pace today. Okay, you don't need to keep up with me. However, in saying that, I don't want you to go faster than me. So you can either stay with me or you can be slower than me. Those are the only two options I'm giving you. We're going to go for 4 more. And then we're going to start to get into it. Let's go for 3. Inhale at the top. Exhale as you start to paste each vertebrae back onto the mat and tucking your pelvis at the bottom. You've only got 2 more reps. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze those glutes at the top. On this last one, we're going to keep the hips up. You're going to hold them up. Hold, hold, hold. Now, if you want to challenge yourself a bit more, can you bring your hands in line with your shoulders? Palms are facing one another. Okay, now we're just going to simply tap the glutes down. We're going to lift them up. So we got flat back, tap, and lift. So we're not articulating through the spine anymore. Lift up and squeeze. Weights in the heels. You should feel your glutes. They should be on automatically. You almost want to think of the engagement before you even lift your glutes up to the ceiling. Lift, squeeze. Core is engaged the entire time. We're going to go for 4, 3, 2. On this last one, can you hold your hips up? Hold, hold, hold. We're going to drop them halfway. We're going to lift them up and squeeze. Drop them halfway, lift them up and squeeze. You're doing so good. Breathe. Trust me, your breath is going to help you. Let's go. You're here for 4. Making sure the ribs aren't flaring out. Remember, bringing them in and down towards the hips. For 3. Last 2. On this last one, hold your hips lifted, hold, hold, hold. Now, if it gets too much with your arms lifted, please bring them down onto the mat. Listen to your body. We're now going to bring this right heel off of the mat. We're going to lower it down. We're going to lift the left heel. We're going to lower it down. So we're alternating heel lifts. Our hips are still up. Okay? Ooh, this is going to challenge the glutes even more. Just make sure you're not locking into your ankle joints. Okay? What do I mean by that? Is I mean like you're not extending too much into that joint. Flexing, sorry. Let's go for 4, 3, 2. On this last one, can you bring the right heel off of the mat and then the left? Hold. 4, 3, 2, 1. We're going to pulse our hips up to the ceiling. Pulse, pulse, pulse. You here for 10, 9, 8, 7. Last 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Drop the heels and then slowly roll your hips down. Hug one knee into the chest and then the other. Ooh, ooh. You can rock from side to side, just massage that lower spine onto the mat. Okay, we're going to get into some abdominals now. So feet are going to remain on the mat to begin. They are hip width apart. Hands are going to come behind the head, intertwine the fingers. Elbows are wide. Okay, you've got that neutral spine, which means you've got that little blueberry that's underneath your lower spine. Okay, inhale to prepare. On the exhale, we're going to curl up and forward. We're going to float the right leg into a tabletop. Our entire spine is going to melt into the mat. And then inhale, lower it back down. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Now notice, I have a space between my chin and my chest. You should too. You should be able to fit a peach, an apple, a plum underneath your chin. And in order to maintain that space, you're either going to look above your knees or you're going to look to the ceiling. And lower down. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. We only got 5. 4. Make sure that when you're bringing that leg in that tabletop position, that knee is staying in line with that hip. Okay? I'm not too phased about the foot. It can be slightly higher than the knee. That's totally okay. The main thing is I want that knee in line with that hip. Focus on your breath here. Elbows are wide. Okay, don't let them close in towards each other. We're going to go for 2 more. On this last one, float the right leg into a tabletop. Hold it there. Hold. Lower head, neck, and shoulders. Now, we're going to exhale, lift head, neck, and shoulders. Left leg is going to come to a tabletop. And then the left toes are going to tap down as you rest head, neck, and shoulders. But notice that as I tap, okay, I'm not bending at the knee. I'm lowering from that hip. Exhale, lift so it meets the right. And lower all the way back to that stop. Challenging our lower abdominals here, okay? You need to make sure that your back is staying in contact with that mat the whole time. Now, if it's too much with the right leg in that tabletop, bring it onto the mat, okay? So you'd look like this. Otherwise, right leg is in that tabletop for that challenge. Let's go for 3. Last 2. On this last one, hold this left leg in a tabletop, head, neck, and shoulders are lifted. Hold. With this left arm, we're going to reach it to the outside of our right leg. Our left leg is going to extend at the same time. Back is still engaged in the mat, still glued. Okay? We're going to bend that left leg to come back in line with the right. This left hand's going to come behind the head. You're going to lower head, neck, and shoulders. Repeat. Exhale, reach that left arm outside of right leg. Left leg is going to extend. And bring it back behind the head, lower it all the way back down. Left knee meets right. Exhale. So we are really getting into some rotation here. And we're getting into the obliques. Just make sure that as you lower that leg, your lower back is not lifting off of the mat. So if that means that your left leg, it just extends to a 45, that is totally okay. If it's too much with the leg extended, you can just reach that left arm and bring it back and keep both of your legs in that tabletop position. If it's too much in the tabletop position, you can bring both of your legs down to the mat and you can still twist and reach that left arm to that outside of the right leg, okay? Those are all of your options. We're going to go for 4. Breathe. We're here for 3. Last 2. Last one, hold that left arm on the outside of the right leg. Extend your left leg. Hold. 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's pulse that left arm towards that diagonal. Let's go. Woo! Feel those obliques. Feel the lower abdominals. You're here for 4. For 3. Last 2. Last 1. Bend that left leg in and lower all the way back down. Hug the knees in towards the chest. Woo! Moving quite quickly between each exercise. Okay. Full body today. So we need to make sure that we are hitting all of those different points of our body. So we've already worked the glutes, the hamstrings, parts of our calves, and now we're getting into the core. Now, before we come to the other side, let's get into some inner thighs. So we're still staying on our back, but I want you to connect your feet and I want you to connect your knees together. They are glued. They cannot come apart. Your feet, you should be able to touch your heel with your hand. Okay? Hands are going to rest on either side of your body. Palms are on the mat. Inhale to prepare. Exhale. We're going to lift the hips up to the ceiling. Squeeze your knees together. Squeeze your ankles together. We're going to lower back down. Tap. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Okay, so we're getting into inner thighs here. The inner thighs are working super hard to make sure that your knees are staying connected. Now, if you want to advance this, let's bring the arms up. Palms in line with your shoulders, okay? Lower down, tap, lift, squeeze. Ooh, your core still engaged. The same rules apply here. At the same as the glute bridge, make sure that your rib cage is not flaring out. Relax that jaw, relax the neck, relax the shoulders, don't shrug them up towards the ears. We're going to go for 4. Let's go for 3. We're going to start to add layers. Last 2. Last one, hold those hips up, hold. We're going to open the knees out, okay? We're going to close them in. We're going to open them out. We're going to close them in. We're keeping the hips up. Open, close. Open and close. You want to think of your inner thighs doing all of the work to close your knees back together. Woo, feel that mind to body connection. Open, inner thighs. Close them together. Wonderful work. Don't let your hips drop. Okay, you're only here for 6. Let's go for 5. Last 4. 3. 2. Last one, bring your knees together, connect them. Oh my gosh, let's pulse them up to the ceiling. Pulse, pulse, pulse. Let's go for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Load all the way back down. Bring your right knee towards your right shoulder, your left knee towards your left shoulder. Make sure your lower spine is on the mat. And you can just rock from side to side. Ooh, just give those inner thighs a bit of a break. And now we're going to come to the other side with those abdominals. Okay, so feet are going to be hip width apart. They're going to rest onto the mat to begin. Hands intertwined behind, the fingers intertwined behind the head. Elbows are wide. You've got that little gap underneath your lower spine for blueberry. And we're going to begin. Left leg is going to float into a tabletop. So exhale, curl up and forward. Left leg into a tabletop. Melt your entire spine into the mat. And inhale, release down. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Woo! Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. You're doing so well. You're looking so strong. I am so proud of you for showing up today. You should be too. So now you know what to expect. We're going to go for 4. Let's go for 3. And then we're going to start to float the right leg into a tabletop. Last 2. Make sure your abdominals aren't doming. So draw them in. Okay? Wearing that corset. Last one, hold head, neck and shoulders lifted, hold. Left leg's going to remain in this tabletop position. Lower head, neck and shoulders. Exhale, right leg comes to the tabletop. As you lower head, neck and shoulders, your right toes are going to tap down to the mat. Your entire spine is still melted in the mat the whole time. It's not going to lift. Exhale, lift to meet the left. Inhale, lower, tap the toes. Exhale. Inhale, lower. Exhale. I know, trust me, I'm doing this with you, so I can feel it. Elbows are staying wide. Let's go for 4. Let's go for 3. We're going to start to add that right arm reach. Last 2. Last one, hold that right leg in the tabletop. Hold. Right arm's going to reach to the left outer thigh. You're going to extend your right leg. Bring that right hand behind the head. Right leg comes into a tabletop. Rest head, neck and shoulders onto the mat. Repeat. Exhale, reach. Both the right arm, the right leg. Bring them behind the head, lower down. Exhale. Making sure your back staying in contact with the mat the whole time. So remember, you don't have to drop that leg all the way down to the mat. Even if your leg just reaches to a 45-degree angle, that is totally okay. Woo, draw your abdominals in. Twisting to the side. Reach those fingertips. Imagine I'm pulling your arm to the other side of the room. This left leg doesn't move at all. It is glued in place. We're going to go for 4. Last 3, remember those modifications that you can take with the legs. Last one, let's hold, 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 hold. So extend both the arm and the leg. 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's pulse and pulse. So really reach to that diagonal. Reach to that diagonal. Draw those abdominals in. Belly button to spine for 4, for 3, last 2, last 1. Bend that right leg in. Oh my gosh, lower head, neck and shoulders. Rock from side to side. This is when I need that Fisher song to be playing. It's a killer. You're gonna rock back and forth. Okay, making sure not to knock yourself out with your knees. Don't roll onto your shoulder, onto your neck until you come all the way up. And we're gonna scoot around, coming onto your left side. We're gonna lower down onto the left elbow. Left elbow is underneath the left shoulder. I want you to bend your legs and I want you to make sure that your heels are in line with your glutes. That is really important for this next exercise. Connect your big toes together. Make sure that your heels are apart. This free hand, you can either keep it on your top hip or you can place the fingertips onto the mat. It's up to you. Zip up your core, okay? Core super engaged. Move this lower shoulder away from your bottom ear. Inhale to prepare, exhale. We're going to open up the knee, lifting that knee up to the ceiling, and then inhale as we close it down. Exhale, lift, making sure that that top hip is not rolling back. Lowering down. So it's a very small movement. It's not going to feel like much in the beginning. But trust me, we're going to get into those side glutes, making sure the heels are staying apart from one another. Now throughout the class, the rest of this class, we're going to keep building on a foundation exercise. Okay, that's what we do in Pilates, if you haven't noticed already. But I want you to understand that you don't need to add each layer. I'm here to challenge you. So if you find that a layer is where your body's at, it can't go any further, stay to that layer, okay? Stick to that layer. It's really important in Pilates that you learn to listen to your body. I sound like a broken record, but it's really the truth. Once you start to learn this and you pick it up, your practice will be even better. Okay, let's go for 3. We're gonna start to add. Let's go for 2. Now, if you're not feeling it in your side glute, you're more than welcome to take this top thumb and dig it into the side glute and hold it there the whole time. Last one. Now next time we open the knee, we're going to lift this bottom hip. So you're going to lift, open the knee, you're going to lower it down. Exhale, lift. Now the movement's coming from the bottom hip, not coming from your shoulder. So zip up your core, engage your glutes. Open and lower down. If your neck is taking some strain, you can look to your bottom hand that's rested on the mats. Let's go for 3. Last 2. Last 1. Hold it up. Hold. Too much with the hips lifted. Lower them down to the mat. And we're going to start to pulse that top knee up to the ceiling. Let's go for 4. 3. Last 2. Last 1. And lower it all the way back down. Ooh, okay. Staying on this side, I want you to now lower all the way down, bend this bottom arm, this left arm, and make like a little pillow. Allow your head to just relax on your arm. Extend your top leg. Now your bottom leg is going to stay bent, your left leg, and your top leg is going to extend. I want you to flex the foot. Roll your hips forward so your hips are stacked on top of one another. This top hand, I want you to place it in front of your chest. We're going to lower this leg down. Inhale to prepare, exhale. We're going to lift. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Wonderful. Now your core needs to be engaged because I need to see a little gap underneath your waist. If there's no gap, it means that you are being lazy and it means that you are relaxing your core. Lift and lower. Now you're probably wondering, Tash, why do we need to engage our core if this is a glute exercise? Well, the core is what's going to help stabilize the rest of your body, so the leg is the only thing that is mobilizing, which means it's then going to target that side glute. Okay, everything is super intricate in Pilates. We don't just do things because we want to. Let's go for 3. Last 2. On this last one, hold that leg lifted, hold, point the foot. We're now going to sweep this leg so it's now in line with this bottom knee, okay, so it's at a diagonal, and then flex the foot, so now we're bringing it back in line with the glutes. Wonderful. Exhale, bring it in front. Exhale, bring it so it's back in line with the glute, your heels in line with the glute. Make sure that you are not swaying back and forth. If your leg is starting to dip down, bring it a little bit higher, making sure it's in line with the hip. Let's go for 3. Last 2. On this last one, point the foot, bring it back in line. Now I want you to internally rotate the leg, drop the toe to the floor, and we're going to start to pulse it up. Pulse that heel, woo! Up to the ceiling, medial rotation. Feel those 2 glute muscles working, the mid and the meat. Okay, we're here for 4, last 3, last 2, and last one, bend it in. Oh my gosh. Give that side glute a really hard tap. Whew, okay. Let's turn around now. So we are on all fours. We're going to get into some triceps. So knees are going to be hip width apart. Your hands are going to begin underneath your shoulders. Okay, to make this exercise easier, you're going to step your hands in front of your shoulders. Okay, the easier, so the further up your hands are, the easier this will be. The further down your hands are, as in closer towards your knees, the harder this will be. So to begin, let's first bring our hands underneath our shoulder, then step your hands just a 1 up from your shoulders. Okay, inhale to prepare, cores engaged, you're looking just above your fingertips. We're going to lower the elbows down towards the mat, we're going to lift them back up. Woo, triceps. Exhale, lower, inhale, lift. Now if this is still too hard for you, step your hands 1 forward. And then lower all the way back down. Now notice that my glutes are not moving at all. My bum is not moving at all. I'm just lowering down because I'm bending at the forearms and I'm lifting up. Now if you want to make it harder, your hands are going to come closer underneath your shoulders. Let's lower down, lift up and squeeze. You're only here for 5. Don't sit back with your glutes. 3. Next in line with spine. Don't drop it down. Don't tuck the chin to your chest. Last one. And come all the way up. Wonderful. Adjust the arms. So adjust the hands. Now the hands underneath the shoulders. Okay, step one leg behind you and then the other. You're in a high plank position. Okay, so your torso is at a diagonal. Drop the glutes just slightly. Cores engaged. We're going to go for 4. Belly button to your spine. You're on your toes, spreading your fingertips, making sure you're drawing your shoulder blades apart. Let's go for 4, 3, 2. We're going to start to add into a pike. Last one. Let's start to lift the hips to the ceiling. Okay, as you do so, you're going to look to your toes. Your hips are lifting as high as they can to the ceiling. Your lower abdominals are doing the work there. The heels do not touch the mat. Then you're going to ripple through the spine. You're going to come back to that start position, which was the high plank. Exhale, pike. Look to your toes. Inhale as you come back, high plank position. Getting into lower abdominals here, but also into the deep, deep core stabilizers, okay? That TVA is working on extra time. Drop it down. And lift it up. Use your lower abdominals. Every time you look to your toes, can you lift your hips just a little bit higher? Cores engaged the whole time. Woo, you only got a bit more. Just a couple more reps, and then we're going to start to add. Okay? Now just make sure that your heels are not dropping down towards the mat, because then that makes it a downward facing dog, and that's doing nothing for your core. So let's go for 4. We're going to start to add. For 3, Last 2. Woo! On this last one, come to a pike, hold it there. Okay, I want you to step your hands just a bit wider than your shoulders. We're going to lower, bend into the elbows, extend, ripple through the spine, come back, high plank position. Exhale, pike. Okay, now you're bending into the elbows, which is going to cause your head to lower, and you're going to lift. Oh my gosh. And then you're going to come all the way back to the high plank. So we're working deltoids, which is your shoulders, working into the triceps. And push back, pike. Lower. And lift. You're only here for 4, okay? So just give me 4 more reps. And if you only manage 2, that is totally okay. And if you weren't able to do this, next time, try it and see if you can do it. On this last one, give me 1 more. Meet me in a high plank. We're only here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Drop to your knees, open them up, press back, child's pose. Reach your fingertips to the other side of the mat, dropping your forehead to the mat. Quick little reset before we move to the other side of those clams and side lying series. You can even roll your wrists out if you need. And then slowly coming all the way up. Turn around now. And we're going to come onto the right side. Okay. So we're going to come onto the right forearm. Right elbows underneath your right shoulder. I want you to bend your legs. And I want you to bring your heels in line with your glutes. Top hand's going to rest either on your hip or in front. Fingertips will be on the mat. Inhale to prepare. Glue your toes together. Draw your heels apart. And exhale. We're going to open up that top knee towards the ceiling. We're going to lower it back down. Core engaged. Move that bottom shoulder away from your ear. Making sure that this top hip is not rolling back. Very small, but very effective exercise or movement, I should say. We're going to go for 4 more. We're going to start to add that layer where we lift the hips to the ceiling. Let's go for 3. For 2. On this last one, next time you open the leg, can you now lift the bottom hip? Lower down. Core engaged. So are the glutes. That's going to take pressure off of that shoulder. We don't want to move into that shoulder at all. And lift. And lower. So getting into parts of the obliques here, but also into that bottom glute. Ooh. Make sure you're not rolling back with the body. We're going to go for 4. Last 3. Last 2. Last 1. Hold hips up. Hold that knee open. Hold 4, 3, 2, 1. Tiny pulses. Let's go for 4. 4, 3. Last 2. And last one. Lower it all the way back down. Woo. Okay, we're going to lower all the way down. Bend into the right arm. Allow your head to just relax. I'm going to keep that bottom leg bent and we're going to extend the top leg. Okay, I want you to flex that foot. This top hand, you can rest it in front of your chest. Inhale to prepare. Exhale. We're going to lift that leg, that top leg up. We're going to lower it back down. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. So we're getting straight into it. This is your last final exercise. Okay, make sure that you have that gap underneath your waist because that core is zipped up. Breathe. Really want to make sure that the foot's flexed. The main thing to note is that I don't want your knee to be pointing in towards the ceiling. If it is, I want you to internally rotate your foot. Internally rotate the leg. The knee should almost be parallel to the floor. We're going to go for 4. We're going to do those sweeps. Let's go for 3. Last 2. on this last one, can you keep that leg at hip height? Hold. Point the foot, and now we're going to sweep the leg forward. So now the knees are on top of one another. Exhale. Flex the foot, bring it back. So now the heel's in line with the glutes. Point the foot. Inhale, sweep it forward. Exhale, sweep it back. Making sure that the body is not swaying in any way. Cores engaged. Put a lot of this weight into this front hand that's resting on the mat. We're going to go for 4 more. You are strong. You have got this. You are stronger than you think. We're coming into the final reps of this class. Last one, let's sweep that leg forward. So now the knees on top of one another. Internally rotate the foot. And now I want you to drop that toe down to the floor. Medial rotation, my leg is shaking. We're going to go. We're going to pulse that heel up to the ceiling. Core still engaged. We're here for 4, for 3, last 2, and last one, bend it in. Oh my word. Give it a good hard tap, 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 tap. Woo! You did it. You finished the class. I am so proud of you, and you should be proud of yourself too. Let's remove those ankle weights. We're going to get into a very quick stretch, and then you are free to enjoy the rest of your day or your evening. Okay, let's hike the knees in towards the chest. Yeah, you can just rock from side to side. Inhale through the nose, out through the mouth. One more inhale through the nose, out through the mouth. And then come to the center. And I want you to extend your left leg, allow it to relax on the mat. Hug the right knee in towards the chest. Feel those hip flexors switch on. And then I want you to drop the right knee down towards the left side as your body twists to the right. Ooh, feel the stretch along the outside of that right glute all the way into the lower spine. Don't worry if you can't drop that right knee all the way down to the mat. That's okay. Inhale, come to center. Hug the knee in towards the chest. Okay, then extend the right leg long. Bring the left knee in towards the chest. Hug it in. So we switch that hip flexor on. And then drop that left knee down to the right as your body twists to the left. Looking to your left hand. Ooh, I love the stretch. There's no better feeling than when you've done a workout and you're in this and you're doing the stretch and you're just like, I did it. I finished it. And then come to that center position. Bring one knee into the chest and then the other. Hands are going to come behind each knee. So one hand behind each knee. Let's start to rock back and forth, massaging the entire spine, not landing on the neck. Come all the way up to that seated position. Turn to face me, cross the knees. We're going to take 3 deep breaths in. Inhale, reach your fingertips up, exhale down. Inhale, reach up, exhale down. Last final inhale up. Hold that breath, exhale down. And have a wonderful rest of your day or evening. Please like and subscribe. New content is every Monday and Friday. See you on the mat.